Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Dec McCarthy, and I'm the commercial manager at the Ashmolean Museum. So I'm here talking about the grubbier end of things, the bit where we try and make some money. I was just listening to the end of Andy's talk there. I was just thinking of my colleagues and the Stradivarius Messiah violin. I'm sure we'd have an interesting debate about how that might sound if it were ever played. I think I'm one of the only people here today talking about commercial stuff, so I'm not going to take up lots of your time because you may not be all together that interested compared to collections. So I'm really going to talk about the point of it all for us. It's all about the visitor numbers. We've always said if they come, they will spend, and that always seems to be the way. And for us, it's actually, we've seen a huge transformation, as has the Museum of Natural History. Back in 2008, before we closed and did the refurb, we had about 350,000 people a year. The first 12 months after opening, we had 1.2 million, and we were completely blown away by the success and the labours that it then brought to us. We all became victims of our own success. One of the things we noticed as well is there's roughly a third split in the type of visitors we get. We get about a third of them, it's all research, it's academic, and those have always come. There are just more of them now. There's about a third that will have favourite objects and will just generally come maybe once a year. And then there's about a third who come for exhibitions and come for all the unique things that we do as one-offs. And I was talking to our new director about the fact that I thought we would probably lose, if we didn't do shows, we'd probably lose maybe 200 to 250,000 visitors a year, and he thought that was quite high because of the number. We don't sell that many tickets, is what he said. Well, he might be right, but our feeling is that people come not just for they may pay to come to a show, but then they come again. They've never been before, and it's the unique show that brings them in and then converts them into becoming regulars. So much as we find the onerous challenge of delivering exhibitions, they are absolutely key, and some of the numbers I share with you hopefully will enlighten some of that now. Over the past year, the Ashmolean's visitor numbers has settled into about 850,000. This is a number that we sort of work to, and then we extrapolate that into spend per head and all those other wonderful things, so we can then do forecasts for the university based on what we think everybody's going to do and how we're going to fare financially on the commercial side. 850,000 in this economic climate was really good. It was about 7% higher than the previous year, but that was mostly impacted by the exhibition program. I mean, we had a Stradivarius show, which I think brought in around 25,000 paying visitors. We had Bacon and More, which then attracted 40,000, and finally Cézanne over the summer, which attracted just over 78,000 people. These are huge, huge numbers to deal with. And Yvonne very kindly gave me some numbers as well for the Natural History Museum and the Pitt Rivers. The Museum of Natural History, since its reopening in February, has had a huge increase in the past 8 months. I believe it's now 497,173 people came through the door, which is 34% up compared to the same period pre-closure. That's quite a staggering number to deal with. I mean, and I'm sure their teams are trying to cope in the same way that the Ashmolean did. It does settle down, trust me, but you do have to keep going. The Pitt Rivers, as a spin-off, has obviously attracted more visitors as well, and they're seen roughly a 17% increase in the same time last year. They're up to about 292,000, just over. And I don't have figures for the Museum of History Science, but I have been told that their last year they were also up on the previous year. So lots more people are coming, and to all of the museums, which is great. But we are convinced at the Ashmolean that the biggest increase is down to the temporary exhibitions. We all crucify ourselves in delivering them, and I'm sure some of my colleagues are in the audience now nodding, about how difficult it is to try and bring all these about. But it's absolutely crucial to what we do. The success of the temporary exhibition programme at the Ashmolean anyway has increased our retail sales by 11%, which when you see shops closing all over, it's quite staggering. Catering as well has gone up by around 20% with the past year. There was a very successful kind of Cézanne-inspired menu for the rooftop restaurant, which did really well for us. And again, it proves that it's not necessarily what's static and what your collections are about, it's what's new. We've all got prime bits of OX1 and people just love to come and hang out. I mean, you've even got a coffee shop in the Natural History Museum, something I never thought I would ever see. But you will get more people coming as a result of these things. Our venue hire has also continued to increase. I think I overheard somebody saying the other day that between now and the end of October, there's at least 26 events that we're catering for. So almost every, I think it's certainly over 300 events we're now dealing with, including weddings and, you know, some real sort of high ticket rentals. I mean, it just keeps everybody hugely busy. I think in the events team, we have one full-time person who just deals with wedding inquiries, because you can imagine it's quite an emotional buy-in for those involved. So yeah, we've seen, you know, something like 20% increase on the previous year. And again, the Natural History Museum has also seen an uplift in the venue hire inquiries, which is fantastic. You know, it just proves that people are starting to realise that you can do more than just show your collections. When I first joined the Ashmolean, the doors were locked at night. That was it. It was just dead space. Now there's events on, you know, almost every night of the week. It's a really vibrant, really lively place to be. The retail sales for natural history are also up a staggering 52.6% as a result of the reopening. I mean, this is just brilliant news. And the Pit Rivers also has seen that knock-on effect of more people coming, and they're up by 26.4%. Again, you know, huge work by Yvonne and her teams there. That's fantastic. We do still continue to share ideas. We did have a pilot sort of commercial scheme that involved Katherine Woodhouse, who I think is here somewhere in the audience. She worked for about a year on a project that was funded by ASUC, and that was sharing supplier information, licensing information, product development, that sort of thing. And ASUC have obviously seen that this was a good thing, so they've commissioned Bryn Jones Associates to carry out a review of the commercial operations across the university museums. I'm sure many who are involved will be talking to them now, and it also includes the botanical gardens. They're currently carrying out interviews with a wide range of staff, including myself, and they will submit a report to ASUC in November. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, although we are the grubby end of it with the commercial bit, a lot of what we do goes straight to the museum's bottom line, and it helps us keep all these activities up in the air and keeps us all going. Thank you very much.